As discussed in the previous videos, Truthfarian operates as a lawful disclosure framework within the Public Interest Disclosure Act, 1998. This video establishes how disclosures are issued and applied from this point forward. Information is presented by reference to documents, records, timelines, and procedural events only. Law is applied as constraint, not argument. The governing conditions are lawful process, integrity of record, proportionality, reasonable time, and effective remedy. Nothing is inferred. Nothing is asserted. Each record corresponds to a single disclosure page on truthfarian.co.uk. Each page stands alone and is bound to its own record. No record is merged across pages. Any accumulation arises only through lawful comparison between discrete disclosures.
Each disclosure is assembled from primary material only: documents, correspondence, filings, timestamps, and procedural events as they exist on the record. No secondary interpretation is introduced at this stage. Disclosures are necessary because breaches occur inside closed systems and are not visible to the public in their raw form. When a procedural obligation is missed, a record is altered, a response is withheld, or a deadline passes without lawful action, the breach exists, but it remains fragmented across institutional records. Without disclosure, those fragments are never seen together, and accountability cannot be tested.
Each disclosure is derived directly from an actual breach event that has already occurred and has already been sent, submitted, issued, or logged within an institutional system. The disclosure does not invent material. It extracts what already exists: documents, timestamps, correspondence, notices, metadata, and procedural states, and fixes them into a single, bounded public record. The disclosure page exists to show how the breach came about. It preserves the sequence of events, aligns them to the relevant procedural duties, and makes the failure legible to an external reader. This allows the public to see not only that a breach occurred, but how it occurred, when, and under which obligations, without inference, narrative, or conclusion. The disclosure page on the Truthfarian platform mirrors this format and sets out the evidence, the breaches, the engaged legal duties, and the verbatim citations fixed to the record and ordered in sequence. That page preserves how the breach arose and makes the failure readable and offers a better user experience. These disclosures span multiple areas of law. Truthfarian engages in administrative and public law, civil, consumer, and contractual law, and commercial and corporate law. It extends into data protection and information law, employment and tribunal law, environmental and housing law, equality and anti-discrimination law, and health and safety law. Truthfarian also engages domestic human rights law and international human rights law, including United Nations instruments, the ICCPR, and the European Convention on Human Rights, alongside regulatory, compliance, safeguarding, and vulnerability law. Each disclosure page is classified under the relevant legal area according to the breach evidenced on that page.
That is how these disclosures work. Each breach is fixed to its record. Each record is fixed to its page. Each page is examined under the same legal conditions. This framework exists to model disclosure according to law, not narrative. What aligns resolves. What does not align remains visible. This is how Truthfarian disclosures work. To check human rights, visit truthfarian.co.uk. Truthfarian performs its civic duty under the Public Interest Disclosure Act, and protected disclosure under PIDA 1998 ensures safety, accountability, and public right to truth.